Support WrestleTalk!
It is Hell in a Cell predictions time. Hello, you are watching WrestleTalk's prediction show. I'm El Faker Laurie. I'm joined by Mr. Davis, Lukewarm Luke Owen, and Chopper Pete, Corporate Chops. This is really important. We're coming in, we're closing up on the end of the season, which closes at Survivor Series. It is still all to play for as to who will come out on top of Wrestle League. You can compete in Wrestle League by becoming a pledge hammer on Patreon, so please do that if you haven't already and compete against us. Interestingly, two people will be doing the live reactions this weekend for Hell in a Cell. That is Lukewarm Luke Owen, so your predictions particularly count here. And Chopper Pete will be doing them for the Ollie Authority. But Pete, there's a little thing you're doing, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, courtesy of the draft that took place between Mr. Davis and Lukewarm Luke Owen, for some reason people voted against the Ollie Authority and went with Lukewarm.
Clerical.
Because Ollie picked Mickey James.
I'm going to say Russian interference.
As Rusev.
Or Ollie just made very bad choices, and our audience are very smart.
Yeah, bad choices like hiring you back, you son of a bitch.
I got my job back on my own, you son of a bitch.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
You're a son of a bitch.
Ah, you son of a bitch.
Stupid son of a bitch.
Goddamn son of a bitch.
So on Sunday, I'm going to be dressing up. Because of this punishment, I'm going to be dressing up as Nikki Bella. Look at the wig I'm going to have to wear.
Pete's going to look stupid. Dressing up as a wrestler is stupid, and Pete's stupid.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait. Because yet again, guys, Mr. Davis is granting me an opportunity to get over with the fans. That's what Mr. Davis does as part of the All Authority.
Turning obstacles into opportunities. It's what the All Authority is all about.
It's a problatunity. That's what it is.
Bullshit is what it's about. Bullshit. Let's crack on with some predictions. Let's do. There's something like 4 matches announced for this show.
This won't take long.
There's less than a week to go. There are 4 matches announced. Roman Reigns versus J Uso for the Universal Championship in a Hell in a Cell I Quit match.
Well, I think everyone's going to choose the same thing here. Roman Reigns has got to win. As much as I love J Uso, and this is a predictable match, but I don't think that's a bad criticism towards the feud. I think this is full of emotion and intrigue. I want to see how far the Uso can get before he has to quit. I'm really into this story and this character. But I think we're going to get another angle coming out of this. It was reported the other week that WWE are looking to give Roman Reigns a heel faction, and the Usos are on the first recruit list of all the potential names. And you can see that happening which Uso is it? It's J Uso.
It's the third one.
I don't see Uso. I just see see Jimmy or Jay. When one of them wins, well, when he has to say, I quit, I think that means that's sort of his recognition of Roman Reigns as his tribal chief. And he has to join that family faction, as does the other and third Uso, to create this really nice dynamic. I think that'll be sort of the reluctant but honor-bound henchman.
Well, they've been mentioning on SmackDown for ages that this I Quit stipulation is going to have real consequences as opposed to the fake ones that we always have. I don't know whether it would be a case of the faction, like the bloodline that people have always talked about will become a thing, or whether it will be like Jay is banished from the family. When he says I quit, it means he quits the Samoan dynasty and he's just like banished, because Roman can do that. He has the power now. To do that sort of thing. That's the way I'd go. I don't really want Roman to have a faction. I think he's great by himself, and I think if they give him minions, they'll run down the traditional WWE route of having the minions get involved to help Roman win, and I hate that. I think Roman should be dominant.
I agree. I think maybe the Usos are the wrong guys for Roman's heel faction. You want Baron Corbin. You want Robert Roode. You want Dolph Ziggler. Those are your guys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I mean, reliable faction guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect. So I'm also going Roman. I'm just going to echo what Pete said. But yeah, I'm going to go with Roman. I don't really want to see him with a heel faction either. I think he's awesome, cool on his own with Heyman. But so I think Roman is for sure retaining here.
I'm going Roman as well, but in the interests of keeping everyone hot and like making no one lose anything in this match, I'm going to say that Uso quits, But it was Jimmy Uso the entire time. So Jake will keep his honor. So he can come out and be like, I never quit. It never happened. And then if they want to do the match again, they can do the match again. And do they want to do the match again? Of course they want to do the match again. It's WWE. We've been watching the same matches since fucking WrestleMania. Let's do Jeff Hardy versus Elias. Cool.
Honestly, who gives a fuck? Like, who honestly gives a fuck?
So Elias still thinks Jeff Hardy ran him over and hit him with the guitar.
God.
And then Jeff put on a disguise and then of a roadie, which is Jeff Hardy's normal gear anyway, and then hit him with another guitar, a heavier guitar. And now a match at Hell in the Cell happens. I don't care. I'm gonna say Jeff Hardy wins because it's Jeff Hardy.
God, I don't know. I think Vince gets a kick out of Elias. I think WWE feuds have the heel winning first, but they could also have Jeff win and then book Elias against him for 3 months.
Now you're onto something. Now that right there is storytelling magic.
That's a long-term story. Because all you've done is you held spacebar in between the first sentence and the second sentence. And
gonna go Jeff.
I'm gonna go Elias on this one. I think he's just made his return. He's been speaking about for ages recently how he had big plans that got scrapped. He was supposed to be facing John Cena, supposed to be facing Undertaker at Super Showdown, which instead was Goldberg in a great match that we all remember very fondly.
Worked out well for everyone.
I think they like Elias, and I think, building off his big return, he'll get a big win, despite it not making any sense. Even Jeff Hardy being cleared of not running him over also doesn't make sense, because all they determined was that he wasn't intoxicated. It's like, cool, he still ran over a dude, apparently. That's still hit and run, at the very least. And then everyone else has denied it, so we still don't know who actually ran over Elias at this point. Maybe it'll be Retribution. Yeah, I don't know.
And then Elias can beat him as well.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go with Elias to get the win here, because he's got a new album out. Like, legit, he's got an album coming out on Monday. So I think they're going to give him the win so he can then do like a big sort of musical celebration thing on the Monday for his new album dropping.
Talking about feuds we've been getting all the time. Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Am I right? We've had that since NXT, guys. Ages. That's years. WWE, book something else, WWE. Jeez, I don't want this. I want something fresh. I want this so badly. This is so good. Unbelievable.
I'm torn on this one, because like you kind of want to say Banks, because Banks finally gets her retribution and she beats the best friend, her former best friend, and wins the title. But you could eke this out, right? And like have Bayley retain here and draw this storyline further and further and further until you get Banks finally getting the big win at a bigger show, perhaps, i.e. WrestleMania. So I'm going with Captain Karen for this one. I'm going to go for a Bayley retention.
The Karen in the cell. Who are you going for, Ollie?
Me and Lukewarm are differing on a lot of these, you son of a bitch. I'm going to say...
There's only 4 matches, you son of a bitch.
Sasha Banks, the boss. Surely, I know this is the first proper encounter between them, but it's in the cell. This is the blow-off match. I know that's how WWE don't typically treat these stipulations anymore, but it's got to be Sasha.
She could always lose it on her first defense. She's got priors, so I'm also going with Sasha Banks. I just because I want to actualize it by saying it out loud that she's going to be the SmackDown Women's Champion. Also because I'm just like the kind of the new influx of talent to SmackDown. I can see a Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair feud in the future as like a nice WrestleMania thing to build to. But yeah, I could also see her winning here and losing it in about 2 weeks' time. So
when's Mandalorian out?
Oh, it's at the end of the month. It's out the end of the month.
Yeah, because Banks is in that, so maybe you do want like your champion, like a champion on the brand that's in the Mandalorian. You could actually promote that on television, like as a good thing.
And you know what? You could do that. Alternatively, Bayley's gonna win, because it doesn't make any sense. That's why they'll do it. there's no reason why Banks shouldn't win here. It's the first big blow-off match. It's in a cell, as Ollie was saying, and all that stuff. But it doesn't matter because Bayley's just going to win, and everyone's going to go, "Oh, for God's sake!" And then they're going to go rematch Survivor Series, and it's going to be
think
awful.
of the heat. Think of the heat, Pete.
Banks is going to win and become the SmackDown DeLorean. That's what's going to happen.
There it is.
No one's considered the possibility that it will be a no contest.
Well, we're saving that for the main event, surely. Like, surely that's the Drew Randy match is the one that ends in a no contest.
You call that the main event? Roman Reigns J Uso is going to be the main event.
Well, I mean, it's on Raw, Pete. You know, it's the red brand. It's the A show, so it's the true main event, isn't it?
People stopped watching after the ambulance match. That's what I heard. So, in their droves, apparently, people stopped watching. So let's talk about Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship again at a Hell in a Cell. Doesn't it make you long for the halcyon days where Drew McIntyre had proper contenders for the WWE Championship, like Big Show? Doesn't it? It makes you think, I wish we could go back to that. I've picked Randy Orton to win every time so far, and I've been completely wrong. And I am sticking to my guns. Randy Orton is going to be the WWE Champion at this event. Fuck all of you. Fuck WWE.
God, if Randy wins, we're going to get another match between these two at TLC. Like, we can't, surely. We can't continue this on. I am going to go with Drew retaining this time round because I've bet, as you mentioned then, I thought it was going to be Randy at SummerSlam. I thought it was going to be Randy at Clash. I think it's going to be Drew here. Not only do I think it's going to be Drew because A, I don't want to see them do another match on pay-per-view, continue this feud out, but B, I think you could easily go into a Fiend Randy storyline, which you don't need the belt for. And Drew's now got a whole host of heel challenges over on Raw since the brand split, particularly AJ Styles. So I think we might move into AJ Drew after this. But as I sort of mentioned as well when Ollie talked about no contest, I think this may be the match that ends in no contest. I think the Fiend will just show up and lay out both men so we can have our third Hell in a Cell with no contest finish for the third year in a row.
I hope he lays out Randy and Randy wins by DQ. There you go. That's it. That's my backup plan.
And I hope X-Pac is doing the watch along again. So we can
starts off like that, and it's like, how do I say it's bullshit without saying it's bullshit?
I, like you, have picked Randy Orton every single time. God. And I think that not what Ollie thinks or Mr. Davis thinks. I'm thinking Mr. McMahon, Vince. He wants that Edge versus Randy WrestleMania main event with the title. So I'm going for Orton. The Hell in a Cell. You know, outside Hell in a Cell, Drew can beat Randy because he had the help of all the old guys. But the point of Hell in a Cell is to keep the old guys out, which they haven't told that story really, even though it was right for them on a platter. They also haven't really told the story anymore of the RKO versus the Claymore. All those interesting stories have been dropped.
Night vision goggles. That's the story now.
They'll do it all in the match, Ollie. You'll have like Shawn Michaels banging on the cage, be like, I can't get in.
Big Show will just come out like Godzilla from the waters, just tearing.
The cage will collapse when he touches it. They just lean on it and it fall over.
Oh no! I've just realised Brock Lesnar returns, rips off the cage door.
Oh my
F5's Drew McIntyre, and Orton pins him to win.
Why would Brock do that?
Because Drew beat him at
WrestleMania.
Yeah, but surely then he just wants to beat Drew and get the title back. I think I don't think you're off with the Brock thing though. But I think Brock's just going to come in and cause the DQ like he did 2 years ago in the Roman Braun match.
So Pete, what are you thinking now?
There's so many ways they can screw this up, Pete.
Have you ever had less faith in a product?
I don't know who's going to win this. And I don't think it matters. I think both of them are going to be exactly the same afterwards. I'm not saying that the feud is going to carry on, but both of them are going to be in exactly the same position. Even if they go into a temporary feud because of brand warfare, they'll probably come back to each other afterwards at TLC. I'm going to say Drew retains. Drew retains.
I was going to say, do you have a bonus question? Have you thought of one?
I know that we haven't got a bonus question
Will there be a DQ
Oh, how is that a question that we can have now? How bad is WWE that a legitimate bonus question is, do you think there's going to be a finish that shouldn't exist on this show?
Okay, let's do it. Will there be a DQ finish to a Hell in a Cell match?
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
Oh, God. What?
Well, that's all we've got time for predicting Hell in a Cell. Let us know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen on the show. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more awesome WrestleTalk stuff. There's a button on screen somewhere that will make you a pledge hammer on Patreon, which will let you take part in Wrestle League, our predictions competition. And there should also be some lovely videos on screen for you to watch more stuff. I've been El Fake Laurie Bake, joined by Mr. Davis, Lukewarm Luke Owen, and Corporate Chopper. And that was predictions.